My bad. I was looking at this heater. It started blinking. I'm like, what's going on? The numbers was blinking. Dang, I need to close that door. I don't even think it. Man, let me close this door real quick. Sometimes it be colder when I don't got that door closed. It's a cold little closet, and that cool air will come out. Trying to warm it up. Dang, I need to get the book right. There it is. That one too. That one too. Oh, that. Hold it up. Bam. Oh, that one too. That one too. Bam. I I'll just keep this one. Bam. Dang, I got a whole bunch of books already over here. This is how I used to be. I used to have about 10, 11 books on the table. Y'all can't see it. They right here. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, anyway. So, questions. I had a question about the New Testament apocrypha. Somebody just said, have I read it? And let me see if I can pull it up. Okay. So many comments. Okay. Have you read the New Testament apocryphal? Now, I just had the book. There it is. Okay, so this is the New Testament apocrypha, and I don't know how many books in here. It's a lot. It's probably over 50, but I haven't read it all. The reason I got this book was because it talks about a lot of the apostles and how they died or was killed. So I haven't read this entirely because it wasn't my goal to at the time. But I have read some of it, and I think I even came one time on YouTube and did a in-depth review on it and just like picked certain places in here and read from it maybe. I mean, it was good that I can remember. But I'll just tell you about a little bit of it because I only read a little bit of it. We'll go to the beginning. So it talks about the death of John, the death of Pilate, the death of Joseph, the death of Matthew and Peter. I don't think it talks about Paul's death, but it could, and I just haven't read it. It may be some more deaths in here. It talks about. No, I don't know if I read that one. Okay, well, from what I remember, Matthew didn't get killed. He had a supernatural death, but he didn't get killed. Peter was hanged upside down on a stake or cross. He was crucified upside down by choice. They was gonna crucify him anyway, but he chose to be crucified upside down. John, I can't remember. I think he did get poisoned though. I can't remember what else happened to him. Pilate, Pilate, he has three different deaths. He got a, it's like maybe some from this book and the Lost Books of the Bible by William Hone. It's like it's at least two different deaths, but I think it's three. One of them, oh yeah, okay. So I think from this one, it's a different death of Pilate, and then in the excuse me, the Lost Books of the Bible, it's a different death by Pilate, and then in Acts 29, it's another death. Like in Acts 29, it said that he fell off a mountain or he jumped down, he committed suicide. And it seemed like he was feeling bad for what they did to the Christ after he was killed. It seemed like he was remorseful and he threw himself off a mountain head first and killed himself. Then you read in either this book or that book that he was in jail or prison and he was he stabbed or did he kill himself? I think he killed himself. I don't know. I don't know. Something about a knife, something about a dagger or something. Then there's another account where he was in prison, I think, again, or he was beheaded or something like that. So it's three different ones. But don't know which one is true. But in this book, I mean, it's got a lot of stuff in here. It's got, yeah, I would just say read it for yourself because there's a lot of good stuff in here. Yeah. I don't know what's all in it either. That's the thing. It's so much stuff. I'm skimming through it, but I don't remember what's all in it. This ain't a book I come to like that. Um, it's so much in it. I mean, you got the Acts of Paul, and inside that, you got different people he dealt with, like Thecla. You got somebody died, the martyrdom. I don't know if it was Paul or who, but somebody died. And you got the Acts of Peter. You got inside of that, you got somebody martyrdom. I think that was Peter's. Then you got the Acts of Andrew and maybe how he died. Um, the Acts of Thomas, the palace in heaven inside of that. So maybe he was visiting heaven. My screen just went dark. That normally doesn't happen. That's weird. The Acts of Philip, the martyrdom is inside of that. So maybe it talks about Philip's death. I don't know. I can't recall that one. Um, I see the Acts of Andrew and Matthew, and then later on Matthew dies. Then I see um, Peter, Paul, Andrew, James the Great, John, James the Less, Simon and Jude, Matthew, Bartholomew, Thomas, Philip. Then I see something about John. Oh, Acts of John, Acts of Barnabas, of James the Great, of Thomas, Acts and Passions of Peter and Paul. And it's more, it's way more than what I'm saying. You got letters of Christ and Abgarus. Mm, the Apocalypse of Peter, the Apocalypse of Paul, the Apocalypse of Thomas. Yeah, it's a whole lot more. It's like 500 some pages in here, so I haven't read it all, but I think it's worth checking out and reading. You can find out how some of these apostles died if you ever was curious, because you don't really find out about it much in the New Testament. It's not that many of their deaths in there, any. Um, but the New Testament Apocrypha isn't just that, though. That's what they call it. But the New Testament Apocrypha is, it can be anything after the New Testament that was hidden, that was written about the biblical spiritual stuff. So, I mean, you got other stuff. You got the lost books of the Bible. You got the Gospel of the Birth of Mary, the Proto Evangelion, which was written by I think James. You got the first Gospel of the Infancy of Jesus Christ, the second written by Thomas. You got the Epistles of Jesus Christ, oh, I read that now, which it seems like Jesus himself wrote that. Then you got the Gospel of Nicodemus, um, the Apostles' Creed, the Epistle of Paul, and Apostle to the Laodiceans, the Epistle of Paul, the Apostle to Seneca, the Acts of Paul and Thecla, which was good. I read this whole book, all these. Well, it was one case where it was um where I read about Pilate dying, and that one case was like iffy because I didn't know which was true because Acts 29 said he died from falling off a mountain. Then this one said he died from something else. So you got the differences of Pilate's death, and it makes you wonder, well, which book is more creditable, the one I read in here or Acts 29? Don't know. Um, then you could go this way. Both books could be creditable, but maybe just one didn't get his death right. I don't know, but I just left it alone. We got the General Epistle of Barnabas, and we got like 8 or 7 letters of Ignatius, which are good. A lot of this is good. You got the 3 books of Hermes or Hermes. You got Polycarp's letter, um, a letter of Herod and Pilate, Lost Gospel according to Peter, which is unique because it's like another account of when the Christ was alive, just like how we got Matthew, Luke, John, and Mark, but we got a fifth. We got Peter's also, but nobody really talks about it. So if you ever read that, you'll see like how Peter was giving his account of what went on. We don't have to just rely on the other 4. We got another one. So that was good. Some people might even say the Quran is a part of the Apocrypha because it came along 500 years after the New Testament. But I ain't gonna mess with it. um, what else? What's in here? I'm sure something in here is. This one got like 43 books. Yeah, this is one of them. Some of the same books, the letter of Barnabas, the Didache. Okay, good. So I don't got to get that. Even this, the Seen Gospel of Peace, 1 through 4. So the Apocrypha is very, very huge for the New Testament. We got letters of Clement, a lot of the same books though. So I ain't gonna read a lot of them. But this one was the Lost Scriptures, books that did not make it into the New Testament. So yeah, it's a lot of them. The Nag Hammadi Library, I think. Yep, that one too. It's like over 50 books in there. Yeah. So it's a lot of New Testament Apocrypha books. I have read a lot of them, but not all of them. A lot of them were good and helpful. I might have came across a few that wasn't, but most of them were good. I think I read over 100. At least probably, because I read all those. That's 23. Hmm. I know I read over 100 books, period. Maybe less than 100 hidden books, just hidden books though. It could be. I haven't counted. I haven't kept count. I had a list. I would write it down. But let's see. Somebody else said, "Can oh Cain married from the pre-Adamic peoples in Genesis 1? The Adam was created in Genesis 2." I saw something about that on one of my another that one right there. I think no, that wasn't it. Somebody else said you still didn't prove Lilith wasn't Adam's first wife. She was mentioned in Genesis 1, but not as Adam's wife. That one right there. Okay. I know what they're talking about too. Hold on, let me blow my nose. I still didn't prove Lilith wasn't Adam's first wife. This was on a video called Lilith Was Not Adam's First Wife. Then they said she was mentioned in Genesis 1, but not as Adam's wife or former. She was created in the same form as Adam. However, she was rebellious and went against God's will. They then changed the narrative in Genesis 2 and said Eve was made from Adam's rib. Okay, wait a minute. Um, I know what they talking about, so I got an idea. I'm gonna go to Genesis. I'm gonna share the screen too. Should be in verse 5. Okay. So this is what you will see if you go to Genesis 1, chapter, I mean, verse 5. It says, let me get to the English. Is it above or is it? It was right there. Okay. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night, and evening and the morning were the first day. Now, in the English, it doesn't say Lilith, but it says night. Now, some people will go into Masoretic text and look at the modern Hebrew and look at the word night. And this is where they get Lilith from. H 3915. Some people can pronounce this according to the Lashon. What is it? I can't even think of how to say it, but some people will pronounce it like y'all. According to the transliteration on here, they say it's Lael. Lael. That's not Lilith. That's not even Lilith. But they would attribute this that is Lilith or say it is. But anyway, let's keep going. Then it says that the KJV translation count is 233 times, and they translate this word as nights 15 times, midnight 4 times, season 3 times, midnight 2 times, night 205, and etc. So, outline of biblical usage doesn't say anything about Lilith or a demon or a woman or first wife of Adam. Strong's definition says Lael or Isaiah 21:11. Leo. And then it says also with the H connected to it, it says it could be Layla from the same as H3883, properly a twist away of the light, i.e., night, figuratively, adversity. And it goes on and on. But we don't see anything about a demon, a female, a wife of Adam, anything. Nothing. And from the BDB, Hebrew English Lexicon, let me just skim through it, see if I see anything about a demon or wife of Adam or anything. No. Then we get GC Nice Hebrew Chaldee Lexicon, and we got a lot of information. Let me see how much. Okay. So it starts off giving a cross reference to Isaiah and Lamentations. I'm gonna skim this to see if anything is in here because I never looked at this Hebrew English lexicon for this. I never even thought to. I don't think. I'm just skimming it. Nothing yet. I'm looking at this last part. It's talking about how it was used for the night itself. Nothing about a demon or Lilith or the first wife of Adam or anything. And this is all the times that this word occurs. It occurs in Genesis 1:5, Genesis 1:14, 16, 18, Genesis 7:4. It's always was translated as night, nights. Yeah, I think people need to look more into that. Now this next word, that's not let me check something out. Let me go look at the next Hebrew. Oh no, that's not it either. Okay, I'm just trying to look at some of these other words that's connected to it. Okay. That doesn't help with their case either. I'm just trying to see how they get Lilith because it's not here from this verse. I mean, I know they try to connect it, but it's not here. So I'm trying to see what could they do. Isaiah 21:11, that doesn't say anything about Lilith either. So I don't know where they. The one guy I had on the phone a long time ago. Let's see. This one says the watchman said, "The morning come, and also the night. If you return, if you will inquire, you return come." Yeah, don't know how they getting it, but They're trying to make it what they trying to make it. But Lilith does come in Isaiah, I think it's 38, 14, or that's what I think. I thought it was 38:14, but I didn't see it. Oh, 34:11, I think. Oh, no, 34:14. My voice is going away. That one. Satar. Screech out right there. Screech. Okay. So this word connected with two more Hebrew words gives Lilith. And they transliterate it as Lilith, not Lilith, but people say Lilith. It's cool. I understand. But it can also be pronounced Layayath, but depending on how you pronounce it. So it says Lilith, excuse me, name of a female goddess known as a night demon who hunts the desolate places of Edom. Might be a nocturnal animal that inhabits desolate places. A night spectre. That could be a night ghost, spirit, maybe demon, etc. Screech owl. It didn't say anything about Adam's first wife, but it did say Lilith. It could be a female goddess, known as a night demon. Then it did say, well, let's see what else. It says Lilith, name of a female night demon haunting is the same thing. Probably borrowed from Babylon. And see Lex Talmud under the word chi on the passage gun biome. At least they gave a Talmud reference, because I looked through the Talmud and I ain't find it. So that's it. Okay, that's all they said. But like this one says the same thing. A nocturnal spectre. I gotta put on something else because I'm too cold right now. Let me try to fix my temperature. Hold on, wait a minute. I'm getting beat up. I didn't expect that. Good. We'll see if this helps. Now I'm putting on my coat too. Okay, I was reading about the nocturnal spectre, which had, according to the rabbins, the form of a beautiful woman and lay wait for children by night. All this is the author's note who edited the GCNI's Hebrew English lexicon. He said, "This is utterly absurd. When this connected with the nature of something real mentioned in scripture, what it is may be doubtful." Back to the um wait, did I say it properly? That was the editor's notes, not the author. Back to the author of the book. Like this are the Greek and Roman fables about the woman, about the, and it goes into a Greek word, um the rest of that kind of, I don't know how you would say this, the lime, I don't even know, because that A and E together, I don't know. But anyway, then it says the scritches and the Arabian fables about the goals, which are spirits too, if I'm not mistaken. I looked all this up a long time ago. And then it says, i.e., female monsters inhabiting deserts and tearing men in pieces. Compare other names of spectres. Isaiah 34:14 may, more may be seen in Bochart in Hyros, Volume 2, page 831. And it says, Buxtorf in Lexicon, CH and Talmud, page 1140. And in my comment on Isaiah 13:22, 34:14, back to the editor. It is really lamentable that anyone could connect the word of God with such utter absurdity. Many understand the nocturnal creature spoken of to be simply the screech owl. Well, it seems to me that the editor could have been angry, and it could also be um, their edit could be rejected because the way they wrote it, but it is what it is. This is one of those cases where you got two different people disagreeing about what this screech owl was. But hey, that's the information. So anyway, um, that's where Lilith came from, and all throughout the Old and New Testament, that's the only place that Lilith shows up. Now, what they try to do is they try to go from this word, they try to use these three Hebrew letters and go back to the former Hebrew word I was at before. But it means night. It doesn't mean Lilith. It doesn't mean a demon or a night creature or none of that. It's used as night. But they try to say, well, I don't know how they would say it, but they would say stuff like this. Well, that's the root word. And if this word means Lilith, then that one does too. Or it should do. But no, that's not how this works. This is a different word with the root word in it. But when you add extra letters to it, it's not the same word. It doesn't mean the same thing. So, no, that's not how this works. So anyway, you said it didn't prove that Lilith was Adam's first wife. Well, maybe I'll have to do another video on that because I didn't find any proof that Lilith was his first wife. How about that? Everybody's saying it. Well, I ain't gonna say everybody. People keep saying it. I ain't seen the scripture for it ever. I mean, where is it? I had never found it in the Talmud. Never found it in the Kabbalah. Never found it anywhere other than people's lips and opinions, these so-called books, and where it is. Where is it? How come I can't get a? How come I can't get anything, any documents to read about it? Where is it? Is it just made up mess? Because I can't verify it at all. So anyway, let me go back to the question real quick. Because she says, well, I don't know if this is she or not, but they said, you still didn't prove Lilith was Adam's first wife. She was mentioned in Genesis 1. No, she wasn't. The word Layil or Layal in Hebrew, three-letter word was mentioned, means night. That's one of the meanings, night. You look at every meaning for it, it doesn't say Lilith. The word in Hebrew doesn't even say it, you can't even pronounce it Lilith. You can't even, that's not what it, no, there's no Lilith there. It's Layil or Layal. There's no if at the end. There's no, you know how you got the Lilith. It's no if there. It's just, it, it's different. And the meanings are different. The way they translate it is different. Show me one time where they translate it as a street child or demon or anything close. Or how about this? Why don't you find where it translates this word as Adam's first wife or connected to Adam as being his wife at all? It's not there. When you look at the times it's translated as night, or when you're looking at the context of how it's translated, it doesn't have anything to do with a wife to Adam or anything like that. It's just you look at it. I don't know if you did this or any of you, but you should look at it. You got to look at it and stop only listening to people who I guess claim it's in the Talmud, or maybe they showed you it's in there. I don't know where you got this information, but look at this word. Let me see if I can find this root word. Is that no? That's not it. No. Here it is. So I'll give you a shortcut. After the video, I'm gonna post this link in the description. And if you want, you can take your time and click it. It'll give you all the times this word occurred in the King James Version Bible, 233 times. And you can look through it yourself, read about it, or you can do it on your own time. You can just search. You don't even have to click the link if you don't want to. You can just go online and search Strong's H3915 and click any of the links and read about it. You'll see it's gonna mean night. What else does it mean? A twist, and that's pretty much it that it says. And then when you look at the context of the scriptures it's used in, you'll see this is what they say. Genesis 1:5, you already know, so I'm gonna go to Genesis 1:14. And God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the light from to divide the day from the night." That word night is layal. And let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years. Does that sound like a female? Does that sound like the first wife of Adam? Now let's look at the next one, verse 16. And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. The context and the connection in that verse doesn't give any indication that that's a woman, a female demon, or anything like that. Then the next time it occurs, we have Genesis 1:18, to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. I mean, that description kills it too. But then we got Genesis 7:4, for yet 7 days, and I will cause it to rain upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. That's a popular story of the Bible. That word nights there is the same word in Hebrew, layal. Genesis 7:12. And the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. Genesis 8:22. While the earth remained seed time and harvest, and cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease. Layal, night. That word, same thing. And then Genesis 14:15. And he divided himself against them, he and his servants by night, and smote them, and pursued them unto Haba, which is on the left hand of Damascus. Genesis 19:5. And they called to Lot and said to him, where are the men which came in to you this night? Bring them out to us, that we may know them. Genesis 19:33. And they made their father drink wine that night. What's that? You gotta listen to how it sounds too. And then it says, and the firstborn went in and lay with her father. And he perceived not only, and he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose. Next verse. And it came to pass on the morrow that the firstborn said to the younger, behold, I lay yesternight with my father. Excuse me. Let us make him drunk. Um, let us make him drink wine this night, lie y'all, also, and go you in and lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father. Interestingly, nobody is talking about Lilith being with anybody else. Like, so far, I don't know if I've read night and Adam in the same verse, but I've read night and Lot in the same verse. Nobody is saying Lilith is Lot's wife. It's talking about sex in these two scriptures, but not with the night, not with like y'all. Nowhere in here did I read anything about Adam that I can remember in any of these verses connected with the night and sex or and marriage. I got a lot though. I got a lot getting drunk at night at like y'all, but he didn't have sex with the night. He didn't marry the night. it don't say anything like that. So I think people need to be more, I guess, more detectives. Like become detectives and find out where these people getting this stuff. Are they telling me the truth? Can you back it up? Because I can't back it up. I can't prove Lilith was the first wife of Adam. I just never found it. And nobody I've ever met has shown me that. No matter who I talk to, you know how many people commented on my video about the first wife not being Lilith? I got a lot of comments. I got some mean comments, but nobody proved it. Nobody shared a reference to go look at. They always talk about you never went to other books to read from to prove, Lilith wasn't Adam's first wife. All you used was the Bible. That don't count. Blah, 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 blah. It is no other information to go to that I found yet. I never found it. If I can't find it, I can't show you. All I can do is show you that I never found it. That's it. And y'all haven't provided it either. So, the videos I've seen on this Lilith stuff don't provide it either so far. So, it's like they just saying something that they heard from somewhere else. It's like a passed down story that was what they call it, oral, and they just re-saying it to somebody else, and somebody else believes it, and they put the information out, or however the crap go. But when it comes to being written down somewhere, they claim it's in places, but I ain't found it. I looked, I ain't found it. So I think somebody needs to make a thorough video about Lilith being Adam's first wife with references, with actual documents, with well, they shouldn't just say these things are or could be without any proof, because I've never seen anybody prove it. Just say. But when I did my video, well, according to me, I went through the Old and New Testament because it's not in there. Adam's in there. Now you do get Lilith occurring, but she occurs way later, and she doesn't deal with Adam at all. I mean, well, she said to hunt the inhabitants of Edom, the Edomites. That has nothing to do with Adam. Nothing. That's way after Adam too. And then if you, to me, a demon, demons came way later after Adam. So I'm like, there's no way that could be the case. But y'all make me want to watch my video to see what I said in that video, because I don't know. But anyway, that right there I cannot verify at all. I see some comments. What's up, Cake? Levi? I don't know who else was watching because I was like looking at the screen the whole time. So I couldn't even see what y'all was saying. Let me catch up with y'all. Hold on, wait a minute. Mitchell said, "What are you doing?" That was like a long time ago. I don't know what I was doing at that time. Cake says, "Howdy." Maybe Lilith is fake. I don't know if Lilith is fake. It is evidence for Lilith, but not how everything they say about Lilith isn't, it can't be verified. Levi says, yeah, I've heard that as well about Lilith, saying that Adam and Lilith were created the same time, and Eve was created later from Adam's rib after Lilith didn't want to submit to Adam. What was the created light before the sun, moon, and stars, even on the fourth day? I've always wondered that. Whatever the light was created, Cake says, but I thought Adam was alone, so God made a partner to help him and stuff. I agree with that. Levi says, I'll be back. And maybe she's in some apocryphal book that we haven't read, like Azazel. Well, they need to give me a reference. They need to like put it out. Get the information, put it out, and don't just say, because that's all I've seen so far. I've seen a lot of just saying stuff, but no references, no reading from a book, no nothing. It's just words. Like I can get on my lives and just talk. I've done it before, but how can you prove anything I'm saying is true if you can't verify it? How about that? If I look at those videos, I've seen one. I can't verify what he said, and when I went to try to verify what he said, it wasn't verifiable. So anyway, Kate says, what evidence? I don't see it anywhere in the Bible. Exactly, it's not in there. But let's go back to the question. So their question was, you still didn't prove Lilith wasn't Adam's first wife. That was one statement. Then she said she was mentioned in Genesis 1. I already went to Genesis 1. She ain't in there. But anyway, it goes on to say, but not as Adam's wife. Correct. She wasn't mentioned as Adam's wife, nor was she mentioned at all. But anyway, let's keep going. Let me just read what she said, or they said. It says she was mentioned in Genesis 1, but not as as Adam's wife or former. She was created in the same form as Adam. I didn't read that in there either. However, she was rebellious and went against God, well, God's will, They then changed the narrative in Genesis 2 and said Eve was made from Adam's rib. Question. So it sounds like they're asking a question. Well, to the last little bit you said, she was not in Genesis 1, and she wasn't mentioned as Adam's first wife, Adam's wife, like what you said, or former. She, and then you said she was created in the same form as Adam. No, she wasn't. From the Old Testament and New Testament, I have no proof of that. And I know how demons are said to have been created. Well, how about this? How about this? We'll just look up. I'm gonna just read what a demon can mean real quick, and I'll tell you from that. Because if you know what a demon can mean, then you'll know. And if you know how humans were created, then you'll know they wasn't created the same. So it says that a demon can mean an evil spirit or devil, especially one thought to possess a person or act as a tormentor in hell. Some synonyms are devil, fiend, evil spirit, fallen angel, incubus, etc. Also, it can mean a forceful, fierce, or skillful performer of a specified activity. So the first one, that's the one we're going to focus on. It can be a fallen angel, which a fallen angel is a full-blooded spirit, 100%, not a half-breed. Some demons are half-breeds. According to the book of Enoch, Enoch says that the Nephilim, or well, yeah, we'll call them that, the giants, when they died, they became demons, and they were the evil spirits that roamed the earth. Before that, I don't know if demons was used as a word towards anything. So, and the Nephilim were half human, half angel. They were not 100% angel. And when they died, they said they became demons. And this was way after Adam. This was in the seventh generation of Adam. This was during Jared's time that this stuff started going on. If you look at Genesis bloodline, let's look at it. Let's go to Genesis 5. I might have to get Enoch too. I think I'm gonna have to do that too. Um, well, since we're in Genesis 5, it says, "This is the generation, well, the book of the generations of Adam in the day that God created man." And we get the bloodline right here. It says, Adam, I'm going to just skip. I'm going to read some of it. So it says, "In the days of Adam, after he had begotten Seth, were 800 years, and he begot sons and daughters. All the days of Adam, all the days that Adam lived were 930 years, and he died. And then we got Seth that came along, and then he died in verse 8. And then we got Enos that came along. That's the third generation. And then he begat Canaan. And then Enos dies in verse 11. And then we got Canaan begetting Mahalalel, sorry. And then he dies in Canaan dies in verse 14. Mahalalel begat Jared. So this is when the angels start coming down in Jared's days. And Jared begets Enoch in verse 18, and Mahalalel dies in 17. And then, so that's 6 generations after Adam that it says demons. Well, that it starts to deal with demons. Before that, I don't think that word was really used. So I'm gonna try to find where it talks about these demons. Enoch chapter 6. That's chapter what? Is that 6? Okay, I'm gonna pull this up on the screen and show you. Hold on. How do I get rid of this one? Okay, yeah, remove, stop stream. I see what you said, Cake. Hold on, let me. Yes, she wasn't in Genesis 1. Hold on, let me pull the screen up. Let me keep it going. You know what I'm saying? Chrome tab. Okay. So this is the book of Enoch, chapter 6. It sounds like Genesis 6. And it came to pass when the children of men had multiplied, that in those days were born to them beautiful and comely daughters. And the angels, the children of heaven, saw and lusted after them and said to one another, let us come. I mean, let, I'm sorry, I said it backwards. Come, let us choose wives from among the children of men and beget us children. And Semjata, they pronounce it different and spell it different in different books, but same one. Who was their leader, said to them, I fear you will not agree to do this deed. I alone shall have to pay the penalty of a great sin. Excuse me. And they all answered him and said, let us, ooh, never mind. Let us all swear an oath and all bind ourselves by mutual imprecations or curses, not to abandon this plan, but to do this thing. Then swear they all together and bound themselves by mutual curses or imprecations upon it. And they were in all 200, who descended in the days of Jared on the summit of Mount Hermon. And they called it Mount Hermon because they had sworn and bound themselves by mutual imprecations on it. Now, if you remember Jared from Genesis 5, that was Enoch's dad. You can tell that's the same Jared because this was around the time of that. Uh, Enoch was the son of Jared, this same Enoch. But anyway, let's keep going. And it says 7. And these are the names of their leaders. It gives you 20 different names of angels, I think, or is that just 10? I'm going to go to chapter 7. I think in total you get 20 names, but maybe I'm wrong. Then it says, and all others together with them took to themselves wives, and each chose for himself one, and they began to go into them and to defile themselves with them. And they taught them charms and enchantments and the cutting of roots, and made them acquainted with plants, and they became pregnant, and they bore great giants whose height was 3,000 ells, who consumed all the acquisitions of men. And when men could no longer sustain them, the giants turned against them and devoured mankind. And they began to sin against birds and beasts and reptiles and fish, and to devour one another's flesh and drink the blood. Then the earth had acquisition, if I said it right, against the lawless ones. Chapter 9. And Azazel, which I think Levi mentioned earlier, taught men to make swords and knives and shields and breastplates and made known to them the metals of the earth and the art of working them and bracelets and ornaments and the use of antimony and the beautifying of the eyelids and all kinds of costly stones and all coloring textures. And there arose much godlessness, and they committed fornication, and they were led astray and became corrupt in all their ways. Simjaza taught enchantments and root cuttings and amoros, the resolving of enchantments. Berer Kajel taught astrology, Kokabel the constellations, Ezekiel or Ezekiel the knowledge of the clouds, Arakael the signs of the earth, Shemsael, sorry, the signs of the sun, and Sariel, the course of the moon. And as men perished, they cried, and their cry went up to heaven. Chapter 10. And then Michael, Uriel, Raphael, and Gabriel looked down from heaven and saw much blood being shed on the earth, and all lawlessness being wrought on the earth. And they said one to another, the earth, made without inhabitant, cries. The voice of their crying, I might have said that wrong, but let me read that again. The earth made without inhabitant cries, the voice of their crying up to the gates of heaven. Okay, I read it right. And now to you, the holy ones of heaven, the souls of men make their suit, saying, bring our cause before the Most High. And they said to the Lord of the ages, the, Lord of lords, God of gods, King of kings, and the God of the ages, the throne of your glory stand to all the generations of the ages, and yeah, and your name holy and glorious and blessed to all the ages. You have made all things, and power over all things have you. And all things are naked and open in your sight, and you see all these things, well, all things, and nothing can hide itself from you. You see what Azazel have done, who have taught all unrighteousness on earth, and revealed the eternal secrets which were preserved in heaven, which men were striving to learn, and Simjaza, to whom you have given authority to bear rule over his associates, and they have gone to the daughters of men on the earth, and have slept with the women, and have defiled themselves, and revealed to them all kinds of sins. And the women have borne giants, and the whole earth has thereby been filled with blood and unrighteousness. And now, behold, the souls of those who have died are crying and making their suit to the gates of heaven, and their lamentations have ascended and cannot stop because of the lawless deeds which are wrought on the earth. And you know all things before they come to pass, and you see these things, and you do suffer them or allow them. And you do not say to us what we are to do to them in regard to these. I thought I was on chapter 10. That was chapter 10? Wait. Oh, that was chapter 9? My bad. I'm moving too fast. I thought that was chapter 10, man. My bad. I gotta blow my nose again. I'm still cold. I went through this before. It's not my third time. Yeah, I thought about it. I was laughing because I thought about putting on a big old sweater. I was like, y'all gonna see me in a big old sweater in a minute. Keep this up. Shoot. I got a little thin coat. Maybe that'll work. Let me see. Hold on. Man, it's cold in that room. That little closet I just went in, I'm telling you, that closet is cold. It's one of the coldest rooms in the place. That's why I keep that door closed. I try to anyway. Be cold up there. Yeah. I rarely ever wear this coat, but I put it in there. I rarely ever wear it. We'll see how this goes. We'll see how this goes. Got some long strings on it. Smack somebody with one of these. Just saying. Okay. And I'm still cold. I'm just saying. I'm still cold. I'm gonna catch up real quick with Kate. Cakes. God made human by his image, so there's no way Lilith was a fallen angel. I don't know. Not sure. I don't understand why Jesus wrote on the ground in the Gospel of John. It was funny though. I was cracking up. He ain't paid him no attention. um, what was I in Genesis? I mean, chapter 10. Okay, let me skim this and see. Okay, he bound. I think it's gonna talk about how the demons came, that the Watchers have disclosed, taught the sons the whole earth been corrupted, blah 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 blah, and Gabriel, the children of fornication, the children of the Watchers fought against blah blah, and no requests. I'm skimming it to see if it. Okay, I think it might be. Okay, hold on. And when their sons have slain one another, they have seen the destruction of the blah 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 blah. Okay, in those days they shall be led off to the abyss of fire and to the torment of blah, blah, blah. Bam. 15. And destroy all the spirits of the reprobate and the children of the watchers, because they have wronged mankind. Destroy all wrong from the face of the earth, and let every evil work come to an end. And let the plant of righteousness and truth appear, and it shall prove a blessing. The works of righteousness and truth shall be planted in truth and joy for everyone, and then shall all the righteous escape, and shall live till they beget thousands of children, and all the days of their youth and their old age shall they complete in peace. And then shall the whole earth be tilled in righteousness. Let me skip some of this. It's talking about the flood coming. Um, Dang, that was a short chapter. It was so short. Before these things, Enoch was hidden, and no one of the children of men knew where he was hidden and where he abode and what had become of him. And his activities had to do with the watchers, and his days were with the holy ones. And I, Enoch, was blessing the Lord of majesty and the King of the ages, and lo, the watchers called me. Enoch the scribe, and said to me, Enoch, you scribe of righteousness, go declare to the watchers of the heaven who have left the high heaven, the holy eternal place, and have defiled themselves with women, and have done as the children of the earth do, well, of earth do, and have taken to themselves wives. You have wrought great destruction on the earth, and you shall have no peace nor forgiveness of sin. And inasmuch as they delight themselves in their children, the murder of their beloved ones shall they see, and over the destruction of their children shall they lament, and shall make supplication to eternity. But mercy and peace um, shall you not attain. Chapter 13. Okay, let's see if this is it. And Enoch went and said to Azazel, you shall have no peace. A severe sentence has gone forth against you to put you in bonds, and you shall not have toleration nor request granted to you because of the unrighteousness which you have taught, and because of all the works of godlessness and unrighteousness and sin which you have shown to men. Then I went and spoke to them all together, and they were all afraid, and fear and trembling seized them. And they besought me to draw up a petition for them, that they might find forgiveness, and to read their petition in the presence of the Lord of heaven. For from thenceforward they cannot speak with him, nor lift up their eyes to heaven, for shame of their sins, for which they had been condemned. Then I wrote out their petition and the prayer in regard to their, to their spirits and their deeds individually, and in regard to their request that they should have forgiveness in length of days. And I went off and sat down at the waters of Dan in the land of Dan, to the south of the west of Hermon. I read their petition till I fell asleep. And behold, a dream came to me, and visions fell on me, and I saw visions of chastisement, and a voice bidding me, um, I to tell it to the sons of heaven and reprimand them. Okay, okay. It didn't say it in this one either. Trying to see when did it talk about what I wanted to say. Well, you know what I'm looking for. Speak all the words, blah 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 blah. He's talking about hell. Sounds like he's talking about hell right now. Oh man. Hmm. I don't know how far in I gotta read or go to find it. Maybe this is it. I think this might be it. It's talking about their children, I think. Yeah, okay. But you were formerly spiritual, living the eternal life and immortal for all generations. And now, verse 8, the giants who are produced from the spirits and flesh, there's the half breeds, half angel, half human, shall be called evil spirit. There it is. So it's chapter 18, I think. Oh, 15. So just to make sure y'all get the whole context, I'm gonna read this because that's what I was trying to find the whole time. Okay, it says, and he answered and said to me, and I heard his voice, fear not, Enoch, you righteous man, and scribe of righteousness. Approach here, and hear my voice, and go say to the watchers of heaven, who have sent you to intercede for them. You should intercede for men, and not men for you. Wherefore have you left the high heaven, high holy and eternal heaven, and lain with women, and defiled yourselves with the daughters of men, and taken to yourselves wives, and done the like, done like the children of earth, and begotten giants as your sons. And though you were holy, spiritual, living the eternal life, you have defiled yourselves with the blood of women, and, have begotten children with the blood of flesh, excuse me, and as the children of men have lusted after flesh and blood, as those also do who die and perish. Therefore have I given them wives also, that they might impregnate them and beget children by them, that thus nothing might be wanting to them on the earth. But you were formerly spiritual, living the eternal life, and immortal for all generations of the world. And therefore I have not appointed wives for you, for as for the spiritual ones of heaven, in heaven is their dwelling. And now the giants who are produced from the spirits and flesh shall be called evil spirits on the earth, and on the earth shall be their dwelling. Evil spirits have proceeded from their bodies, because they are born from men, and from the holy watchers is their beginning and primal origin. They shall be evil spirits on earth, and evil spirits shall they be called. As for the spirits of heaven, in heaven shall be their dwelling. But as for the spirits of the earth, which were born on the earth shall be their dwelling. And the spirits of the giants afflict, oppress, destroy, attack, do battle, and work destruction on the earth, and cause trouble. They take no food, but nevertheless hunger and thirst, and cause offenses. And these spirits shall rise up against the children of men and against the women, because they have proceeded from them. So that's what I was talking about. Um, said evil spirits right there. Now, the Bible does talk about evil spirits. Let me see. I'm gonna just get a definition. The first thing that popped up was demon, but I'm just trying to get. Well, it's the same thing, but wait. These evil spirits though were half human, half angel. So and they were the Rome earth. So anyway, that's what I was talking about. And Lilith is said to be a demon, and if she's one of these type of demons, half breeds, she couldn't have been the first wife of Adam because she came later on. That's why I didn't believe the little thing anyway. Cake. Cake said it's funny because I do that a lot. LOL. So Jesus is relatable. Yeah. So I wanted to get that so she would see it, or whoever this is. Um, I did some stuff on Genesis, but I think I'll leave that question alone about Lilith. I'm still cold. I think I'm gonna have to put on a sweater. Man, I tell you, I've had times like this where I had to like really, really dress up. Yeah, it must not be a very, very hot day outside. No, I did go out there earlier, but I thought, okay, let me see. Um, I don't know if that's a question or not. Can you move? Thank you. Let's see. I'm trying to read some more of these questions. Oh, I don't think that was. No, that's not a question. According to the book of Adam and Eve, came earlier. Okay, that's not a question. Great job. Mhm. I came across this TikTok. I don't think that's a question either. No, it's not. But I'm gonna read it. Is it a lot more? Oh, it says I came across this TikTok that said he doesn't believe in the in the son because of the book of Moses. And he started to really confuse me and had me questioning. And he was coming with some facts as he called it, but his name is Child of Yahweh. I don't know if I've seen this. He was saying we are still under the 613 laws. I don't believe that anyway, because all 613 laws doesn't apply to the same. Like, let's say those 613 laws don't apply to all men, or it's like certain laws are for women only and certain laws are for men only. So it's a certain amount that's for men and it's a certain amount that's for women. So that's why I don't believe the 613 is for everybody. Anyway, he was saying we are still under the 613 laws and the Hoahite law, and he was using the Old Testament pseudepigrapher. So and started searching about that book and came across your page, he was saying, Lord, you're worshiping Baal. And Baal is the Hebrew word for Baal. My spirit has been so hurt today. Dang, I didn't, I don't think I ever read that. No, I don't think so. I might have read it, but I don't know if I read the whole thing. Huh, interesting. Huh. Well, it wasn't a question though. I don't think. Well, I did go over the ball thing. I don't have that book that she was talking about. Hmm. Hmm. I guess I'll say these few things then. I wouldn't worry about the 613 laws because no male or female can keep all of those. When I say that, I mean, if you really know the laws, you will know that all laws are for, like, every man can't keep all 613 because some of those laws are only for women. So it might be like 600 that's for men to keep and 13 for women only. But for women, they might have to keep like 589 because maybe the rest of those laws are for men only. So they can only keep a portion of that 613. That's what I'm saying. So it may be 613 total, but you can't keep all of them because they're not for you to keep all of them. You got to find out which ones are for you to keep, which ones are not for you. But um, keep what you can. What else? And it might be easier for you to just keep the law of Christ. Just do what it said in the New Testament. Just try to practice on the main two laws, which he said, hang all the law of the prophets. That's probably easier because you don't have to know all the other laws to do that. But I just keep commandments. I mean, whatever comes to my mind, I either keep it or I don't. These scriptures come to my mind when it comes to giving to people who holding up signs. I mean, certain scriptures come to my mind, like the one that says, um, if your neighbor asks you for something, give it to him while you have it. And if you, it's something like that. So if I see somebody with a sign and I got something to give, I should just give it. But give me stuff like that come to my mind. And then you got other scriptures that help you find out who to give to. Like in Side Ranch, I was reading yesterday, I think it was saying that when you give, know who to give to. Help the godly, help not a sinner, because the sinner will treat you wrong after you give to him. So it was like help the godly and not a sinner. So it just helps you uh, with giving and keeping commandments. But yeah, as the scriptures talk to you, try to listen. And the other part is about that book. I mean, you can get the book and see what he's talking about, maybe, or do your own studying, your own research, which is always good. Don't sound like you believe what he was saying, but some people get books and they read them and they take what it say and then they go and teach by what the books say. Now I might have done it too, but I try not to. I try not to like, I guess, ignore or discredit the Old or New Testament though. I try to keep the same beliefs overall. Like if I read something new, I still try to keep my beliefs in the Most High and His Son because those are like keys to salvation. And it's certain things that you should just remain with. So I try to remain with certain things. Now, some of these books might change people's beliefs and make them antichrist. Like I think you might have just indicated that with this guy or something. Maybe he was already antichrist. Let me read it again real quick. I came across this TikTok and that said he don't believe in the Son because of the book of Moses. So it sounds like he did, and then after that book he did well. See, in this book I never heard of. I think I heard of it, but it's like a newer book. So hey, that's people though. People going you gotta endure to the end. And what I learned endure to the end means believing in the Son of God until the end too. It's not just enduring in other ways. You gotta endure that because a lot of people are gonna fall away, not just from keeping the commandments of God, but from believing in the Son too. The scriptures that say, "He that believe in the Son has life," or "He that hath the Son has life," and he that doesn't, basically. So yeah, I mean, it's the key to salvation. And some of these new books, I don't even care to read. Um, some of them just gonna be over there just to be over there. I might check it out every now and then, but I don't even care. It's getting to the point where I think I was tired of buying books. There's so many new ones coming out. It's like it's a new one all the time. Oh, look at this one. I know there's some books out there that could be legit, but it's getting to the point where I'm like, oh, it's tiring. The scripture comes to mind about the books. Um, I forget they always used to use it against me. What was it? Mini books. I forgot. It's a popular one too. They always used to use it. The making of many books, there is no end, something like that. They always used to use that against me. It reminds me of that because it's like these books just keep coming out. It's just never ending. And I'm not interested in all of them. Some stuff in it might be good, but I don't care to buy them right now. No, no, I don't. So anything else I would say to you? I would say be careful who you listen to. I know people who preach and teach. I don't listen to everybody, and if I do listen to them, I don't believe everything they say. I don't agree with everything they say, but if we can still work together and get the kingdom of God, okay, cool. But I know some people, they believe differently about certain topics and people and books. Okay, but when it comes to teaching, I try to give a different side, and I don't think they always do that. Some people one-sided on some things when the scriptures would give you like multiple sides of it. So why not give the whole pieces of the puzzle or the entire pieces of the puzzle instead of just one side of it? Like I'll give you an example. Hold on. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I might take. I don't know why I ain't think of that. Can I do that? I can, but it'd be kind of complicated. I'm getting beat up by the weather right now. I'm gonna go get a big old sweater. Watch this. Watch this. Gonna change everything, right? Go get this sweater. Watch. Fix it. Watch this. I ain't want to do it. But, okay. Get this big old sweater. It's gonna change it. It's gonna get hot now. It's gonna get hot. Ah man, I be tripping. I be tripping. Okay. What was I saying? I don't know. I might have finished. Oh, example. Uh, eating the eating laws. So you got some people that would say, well, here's a teaching that I've heard. No meat at all. That's what some would say. They say herbs and everything else but meat. And they would go to certain scriptures to try to prove it or outside books to prove it. But and it would seem like they were real strict on the people that did eat meat or against the laws that said you could eat meat. And what I would try to do is say, well, it's three different ways to go about that. You got scriptures that say you can eat anything as long as you do it properly. You got to have faith that whatever you're eating is okay to eat. If you don't have faith that what you're finna eat is okay to eat, then you're damned or you damn yourself because you eat it with a lack of faith that it's okay to eat. And if you do that and still eat it, like if you don't have faith it's okay to eat, but you eat it anyway, you damned yourself. But if you have faith what you're finna eat is okay to eat, you can eat it and it's okay. That comes from Romans 14, I think, or somewhere in Romans towards the end. But then you got, of course, Leviticus 11 and stuff like that, where it was said you can eat meat, but without blood. You got to do it a certain way and certain creatures and stuff like that. So, of course, you got that. And then you got the no meat. Daniel didn't eat meat. I don't know if he was a vegetarian, but he didn't eat meat. Um, at least what we seen in what was that? Daniel, the book of Daniel. He ate like an apple or vegetables and stuff. And he didn't eat meat. So you got three different ways to eat. But some people will say you can only eat um, no meat, like there's no other scriptures. And some people will say that God never said you should eat meat. I don't know about that because it's clearly in there. Mm. So it's some investigating to do. I mean, you just gotta be careful with people. And then about the ball thing at the bottom, you said he was saying, Lord, you're worshiping Baal, and Baal is the Hebrew word for Baal. My spirit has been so hurt today. I did some videos about that. You can look more in depth on Baal. If you look up Baal and the Hebrew English Dictionary, well, lexicon by G.C. Nyers. You'll find out some information that's valuable. They don't know this. A lot of people don't know this or teach it because they don't read it. It's not taught. I mean, I've done some videos on it, but I did a review of the book called G.C. Nyers. It's called, what is it? G.C. Nyers Hebrew English Lexicon Review. And I think I go over in that video some of it, but I did it again recently in a video where I said how to use the GC Nice Hebrew Chaldee lexicon, well, Hebrew English lexicon, and I went over it again. And this stuff is free. You don't have to buy the book. You can just go to blueletterbible.org and look at the word ball, or it's one of those words, ball or bally. I forget which one. 1168, one of them, something like that. H1168, and you can just look at it for free. They got the GC Nice Hebrew. Wait, I can pull it up right now. I had a link down there. I saw this could be it. I forgot it was on the screen the whole time. This might be it. Although it's a short one. 67. 1167 maybe. This is the one, I believe. So it's H1167. Yeah. Come to this one and look at this. The GC Nice Hebrew Chaldee Lexicon and read all that. That'll give you more information on ball. Kay says, I don't think female angels exist though. They do. So fallen angels kind of doesn't make sense. It does. I mean, Lilith. They exist. Some scriptures about them. Very few, but anyhow. Well, I think I'm gonna get out of here. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. See you, Cake. And I hope something in this video helps somebody. Cold in here.